giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Wide 80. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. We are streaming live on YouTube. And of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! It's the last Friday before Cowboys football for about 5 months. I love it, Cowboys Nation. Today, I don't normally do bold predictions, but I wanted to have a little fun. I got 3 bold predictions for Sunday's game. And the last one you do not want to miss. I don't know that I ever want this damn bold, but stick around for it. Before that, we got Patrick No-C Walker. He's going to come through quickly and give us a brief rundown on the Cowboys injury report, and he'll partake a little bit too in the bold prediction fun that we'll do. What's good with you, Bomb Squad?
Bomb Squad!
Hey, did you see the game last night? Did you happen to see how the 2024 season kicked off? It was fun, man. It was a unlikely finish, but the Ravens were a worthy opponent. I'll be here all night, man. I'll be here all night. That's my dad joke of the day. Chiefs win 27-20 after Isaiah Likely couldn't keep his feet in bounds. It was about an inch too far over the white line to potentially tie it up or win the game. It was a fun game, though, man. An extremely fun game. By the way, Isaiah Likely, another one of those day 3 tight ends that was taken in the same draft as Schoonmaker that you could have got on day 3, but you took. My bad. Let me bring it back. Just saying. He was a guy we talked about briefly in the draft process, and they did something else. Shouts out to Isaiah Likely. He looks like tight end 1 now in Baltimore. He showed some promise last year prior to this game. Also, how many of y'all got a little bit of FOMO when Derrick Henry scored the touchdown early on? He started off strong. How many of y'all, honestly, like, be real, how many of y'all got FOMO when that happened? He started off strong. The first drive, they go down, score touchdown. But then the rest of the first half, he only got 3 carries. I don't know what the Ravens are doing with my man, but he only got 3 carries the rest of the first half. And what do he have, like a 9-yard run or something, 6-yard run? And it's just like, hey, dog, we appreciate you being here, but we're going to let Lamar Jackson do his thing. We're going to play sandlot ball with Lamar Jackson for the rest of the game. And he ended up finishing 13 carries, like 40-some yards in that touchdown. So not an explosive debut for the King, but he started off strong. I'll be very interested to see how they decide to use him moving forward, because this whole shotgun run thing is not really Henry's game, but he's still Henry. And honestly, that's a cool little thunder lightning combination running back duo. What do you mean, Sky? You talking about Justice? No. Thunder, Henry, Lightning, Lamar. A little sarcasm, but I'm dead serious, man. Let's be real. Lamar Jackson's a running back that could throw the ball pretty decently. Bro had 122 rushing yards. Now, he threw the ball for 200-something yards too, but Lamar's a running back that can throw the ball fairly decently. So that's a 1-2 running back combination to me. Top 2. The other 1-2 combination, Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts. I'm just saying the NFL got some very interesting running back duos. Without further ado, let's wrap to our guy Patrick No C Walker on this week's version of the scientific method. Hey, what's good with your brother Pat? How you feeling about that running back duo over there in Baltimore with the quarterback and the running back? Hold on, let me bring you in real quick. Hold on. Now let me know how you feel about it.
Listen, man, that was a mess. That was a mess. I'm sitting here and I'm having this conversation on Twitter right now with Clarence, and I'm just like, man, listen, you can't put that game on Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was a victim. All right, I mean, he wasn't in some short yardage packages. The offensive line was in shambles. Lamar Jackson ran 16 times, threw 41 times. I'm like, man, come on, man. Derrick Henry, he got the first touchdown. He set the standard for what I was hoping that they do against the Chiefs. And then Harbaugh just completely abandoned him, and then it was like he wasn't even in the game.
Right.
So, I don't know, man. Lamar's oof. Let me put it that way. Oof.
I got a thought about Lamar that I think I have to wait for this season to play out. There is a comparison. It's a basketball comparison that I'm really waiting to plant on him, but I have to see how this Derrick Henry thing works out. But I'll tell you off air.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting though. I think you'll appreciate the comparison. But if they use Derrick Henry the same way they used him, yesterday, oh boy, we have to have a conversation.
Yeah, like I said, the offensive game plan was buns. The offensive line was cheeks. I mean, even Lamar, man. I mean, outside of him, running when he could run, and sometimes taking off and running when he shouldn't have. I mean, the throws weren't there. It was just nothing going well for them. So I don't want to hear anything about, the toe that stepped on the line, because it was 2 plays consecutively before that could have tied the game, and the pass just went into the locker room. It's just like, come on, bro. But, that's your MVP, folks. So.
It's the MVP. Hey, the Cowboys will be suiting up the real MVP, in my opinion, on Sunday. And it looks like he's going to have a full slate, talking about Dak Prescott, a full slate of players and teammates to go. But the injury report came out this week, the last 2 days, and there were a couple names on there that I found very interesting. But can you kind of just give us an update on the injury report in general? And then I want to know what happened with this Mozzie and Carson thing, and should we be worried about him?
Yeah, so as far as the injury report for the Cowboys, well, first let's start with the Browns really quickly. There is this longer, but not much to take away from them, except for the fact that Jedrick Willis, their starting left tackle, rated from limited on Wednesday to did not participate on Thursday. That is huge, because it is still to be determined if he plays on Sunday. But 2 things here. If he plays, he's clearly not 100%, and he's going up against Michael Parsons, okay? And if he doesn't play, then that makes it that much bigger of a deal, because then you have a backup tackle going up against Michael Parsons and that Cowboys defensive edge rush. So good luck with that for the Browns. As far as the Cowboys, Damone Clark, Marshawn Nealon, Israel Mukuamu, Mozzie Smith, we'll talk about him in a second, and Wanye Thomas, as well as Kevin Carson. They were all full participants in yesterday's practice, with the exception of Carson. Everyone else that I just mentioned was a full participant on Wednesday's practice as well. Carson was not on the injury report on Wednesday. He showed up on Thursday's injury report with some sort of knee issue. I spoke with Kalen in the locker room on yesterday. He completely downplayed it, said it was not a big deal whatsoever. He just had it looked at, and he's completely fine. He was moving well. He's walking normally. And if you go and look at, we interviewed him after that conversation I had with him. So I think that's on YouTube and on the .com if you guys want to go check that out. But if you go and you listen to what he's saying, he's 100% go for Sunday. So no concerns there. And he started talking about matchups and outlooks and stuff like that.
Real quick on Carson, was this one of those situations where, if I remember correctly, if anybody leaves practice, like if they fall and got to go get
for any reason,
it has to be reported?
Correct. For any reason. If you miss a single rep, missing one rep could still be deemed as full participant, but the fact that you missed a rep has to be filed with the league. Gotcha. So like you said, well, it could be, oh man, I jammed my finger, so I had to go get my hand taped, and then I got back in practice. Well, you would show up on the injury report with a finger issue. So it's possibly one of those things. But again, you don't have to take my word for it. Go to YouTube, Dallas Cowboys YouTube, go to the .com, and I believe that video is up by now. And it's Kalen basically talking about his upcoming matchup with the Browns. And as far as my eye test, he was moving well. He didn't have any sort of device on his knee, no brace or anything like that, so he looked perfectly fine. Mozzie Smith, the Achilles injury, he showed up on the injury report on Wednesday with that. He's moving well as well. I'm told that the reason he's showing up on that, it's funny that you asked about the taping thing, is because he had to get that ankle retaped for more comfort. So he showed up on the injury report with that. But that's why he's a full participant in both of these practices, because it's more or less a non-issue with how they're viewing it, and hopefully it stays that way. John Stevens Jr. is actually the only player that's not on IR that has missed any practices this week. He's missed both practices with that hamstring injury. He's been off to the side doing individual work with tight ends coach Lunda Wells, but he is not trending towards playing as we have this conversation. We'll see what the report says for today. We'll see if there are any updates tomorrow. I'll see if he's on the flight tomorrow. But nonetheless, as we have this conversation, it looks like it'll be Brevin Spann-Ford being your TE3.
One of the things that I think is really cool about you doing this each week and the respect you have in that locker room is that I feel like you can get different vibes from players in the locker room and the building in general that maybe some others can't because they relate to you a little bit more. What's the vibes like, man, in that locker room? Because QB1 all offseason, he's felt free and loose to me and ready to go. But is the rest of that team kind of following the lead? Or are they rooted, and ready for week one, Pat?
Listen, the vibe is exactly where it needs to be and then some. So let me elaborate just a little bit. I had a real good conversation with Wanye Thomas yesterday. I had a conversation with Jordan Lewis the day prior, and just kind of moving around the locker room, I spoke to Jalen Tolbert. Now, these are all off-the-cuff, off-the-record conversations. This is just me talking to the guys, kind of getting their vibe and seeing what's going on with them mentally going into week one. And something that stuck out to me the most was something Jordan Lewis said to me. I walked up to Jordan, and I'm like, hey, man, how's it going? How you feeling about this week, this season? He smiles and looks up because he's sitting at his locker. He looks up. He was like, no, see, something's different. So I was like, nah, you got to stand up and talk to me now. So, so I'm like, tell me what something different is. He was like, it's something in the air, man. It's something different from the previous years I've been here. So I'm like, tell me more about that. Like, what do you mean in the air? He's like, it's different in a good way. I can't put a finger on it. This is Jordan Lewis telling me this. He was like, I can't put a finger on it. Something different, man. He was like, these linebackers and Zimmer and this defensive line and this offense and how comfortable they are with Mike and Brandon. The steps he's taking. He was like, I don't know, man. He was like, I'm just saying, it feels different. That is the vibe that I'm getting from these guys in the locker room. I got that vibe not only from Jordan, those are direct words from Jordan Lewis, but I'm getting that vibe from guys like Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell, obviously Dak Prescott. I'm getting it from Brandon Cooks. I'm getting it from C.D. Lamb. I was talking to C.D. Lamb at his locker yesterday and the day prior, and, man, he could not be more amped to get back on this field. So when you start to see all of these players operating on the same wavelength, and that wavelength is a high frequency as far as, hey, they're ready to get cooking, it just makes you understand that the noise outside of this building is not permeating inside. Like, these guys feel something. And I love what Jordan Lewis said. He said something's different in the air. And he didn't try to quantify it. He simply said, I can't put a finger on it, but I'm telling you, man, something's different.
Hey, I had a chance to speak with C.D. Lamb the other day, and it sounded like he came out and said, look, I'm full go. They had a practice. It was his first padded practice. He got, a chance to go against the defense, I believe. And he said, I'm ready to go. There's no chemistry issues. I've been working with Dak. Can you elaborate on what CD was talking about there?
Yeah. So yesterday was the first full padded contact practice for the Cowboys. And that means it was CD Lamb's first opportunity to really get thumped up. And if you go back to after he ended his holdout, he got his contract, one of the only things that he said he needed to do to get ramped up was to get thumped a little bit. So he participated fully in 100% of the team drills, 100% of the first team reps, I'm told. And then he basically confirmed that yesterday when he said it was fun going up against the first team again. He's ready for Cleveland. I launched the first question to him. I said, "Hey, are you full go? How do you feel for Cleveland?" He was like, "Yeah, absolutely." He was like, "I'm on." And then he started to talk about what was going on in practice, and they were doing scheme work and everything. So as it stands, and I'll check with PR today because I don't know that the Cowboys have moved him from reserve, did not report yet, but they have a spot to do it, so it's no big deal, and it's going to happen. There is, knock on wood, there is no reason that CeeDee Lamb between now and Sunday should not be green-lighted to take that field. But he feels good. He's obviously a little bit bigger. He said he put on some armor. You can see it.
Yeah.
In real life, you can even see it on the images. But, yeah, CeeDee Lamb, he's an absolute go. And he was talking about a lot of the offseason work he did with Dak Prescott as well. I know a lot of people were wondering, outside of him doing some work in Houston and South Florida, what about the work with Dak? He's been in the Dak yard quite a bit. He said that yesterday. Well, he reiterated that yesterday. He said it prior as well. And he said it's good to have a rich quarterback. basically saying that, we have a rich quarterback.
Dak's
a football field in his back.
Dak's jab was hilarious. Yeah. Dak said, "Hey, man, maybe I need to put a dome over it if I get a new contract."
Yeah, that's what he said. Listen, the vibes are immaculate, man. You love to see it, considering that it's not outweighing the self-awareness that they completely understand. Go back and look at Dak's interview. He completely understands the pressure that's on this season because of guys who aren't under contract beyond the season. As we have this conversation, hopefully this changes here shortly. But as we have this conversation, he's one of those guys. One of his favorite coaches of all time, Mike McCarthy, and they have a great personal relationship. Mike is not under contract. So even assuming, and I do assume that this deal is going to get done on Dak Prescott, but assuming Dak Prescott's deal gets done, I don't see that it makes him rest on his laurels for any reason because, one, he wants to win a Super Bowl and he wants to win it in Dallas. Everybody saw the quote yesterday that I put out there basically saying that winning the Super Bowl in Dallas would hit differently than winning it anywhere else. Number two, that's just not his makeup psychologically. Number three, even if he gets his contract, and I believe that he will, Dak Prescott will, he's also fighting to keep Mike McCarthy around. And one of the only ways to do that is to make a deep playoff run. So, again, the vibes are immaculate, but at the same time, everybody understands the pressure of the moment, and there is a ton of it.
So today's show, we're doing some bold predictions. And before you get out of here, Pat, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this every week, but damn it, it's week one. Let's have a little fun. Give me one bold prediction for Sunday's game. Cowboys, Browns, go.
Cowboys, Browns, Ezekiel Elliott, Rico Dowdle combined for 150 and 3 touchdowns.
Woo! That last one, that's bold. That's bold, brother. I love it.
I'm taking that. Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott, they combined for 3 touchdowns and 150 yards. I feel like I do believe Tyler Guyton's going to hold his own. Myles Garrett is going to win some of those reps. Guyton is going to win some of those reps. I think people are about to be impressed with what Steele looks like against Darius Smith. Steele looks back to form. And that's going to – now, obviously, they have Dalvin Tomlinson in the middle. They have Shelby Harris in the middle. They got dogs up front. But I think that Dak Prescott and this passing attack being able to get the ball downfield to help neutralize those edge rushers is going to kind of open up that middle. And then guess who's in the middle? Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Zach Martin. I think Shelby Harris and Dalvin Tomlinson are in for a very long day.
I promise you, y'all, we didn't share notes, but just stay tuned because his bold prediction is very much in line with mine. So one of mine.
No, we did not. We did not.
That is interesting. Notes. Hey, appreciate you, Pat. I know you got to get going to go kill it here on Talking Cowboys. Make sure y'all check my brother out. He drops all types of science. In fact, you just dropped your science article, correct?
Yeah. First Science Lab of the 2024 season. It is live on the .com. Make sure you guys check it out. I also tweeted it. I'll tweet it again as I walk from here to the studio downstairs to do Talking Cowboys in less than 120 seconds. So got to go to the next thing. Love you, brother. Love y'all. Tune in to Talking Cowboys in 2 minutes. And we'll actually do multiple screens because don't tune out.
Multiple. Yeah, don't leave me.
Yeah, don't leave still, but just get an extra screen so you can have maximum elite coverage going on at the same time.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, talk to you soon.
It's the wrong button, but hey, man, don't leave. Come on back. Come on back, Bomb Squad. Come on back. Appreciate Patrick No C Walker, DallasCowboys.com, dropping some goods. Again, he is about to do Talking Cowboys. If you can't catch him live, that's all good. I never catch him live. I usually run this thing back like some of y'all do here, running it back. Now, you might say, wait a minute, Sky. One of your bold predictions is in line with what Pat just said? Yes. But yes, and I'm going to be able to explain myself a little bit more. But before we do that, let's reset. You know how we do. Come on back. And there was a quote I saw this morning. Didn't get a chance to listen, but a quote I saw that Mike McCarthy said that kind of falls in line with the bold prediction that kind of contradicts who he is. We're going to break it all down.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
In front of the millions.
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
We'll do it live.
Man, football in the air. It is in the air. I was watching with my son yesterday and told my wife, I said, I know you happy I'm not here on Sundays. I'm sitting here getting hype and animated for the Ravens Chiefs. These are my teams. I'm not emotionally invested. I'm emotionally invested into NFL football. Got my son jumping. He's jittery. He's a little jittery right now. He only 5 months. He a little jittery. Got him jumping and scared. Like, yo, what's dad doing? I'm like, man, you know what? Be fortunate. I'm not here on Sundays to go crazy. Anyway, man. Cowboys, Browns, bold predictions. That's a hell of a bold prediction by our guy, Patrick No-C Walker. But Mike McCarthy spoke this morning. He went on, was it 105 through the Fan? And McCarthy talked about the run game, y'all. This is what McCarthy said. He said, quote, "We will be good running the football, and that's because we're going to commit to it." Wait a minute, coach. Let me run that back. We will be good running the football, and that's because we're going to commit to it. Huh. If I remember correctly, the start of last year, the Cowboys committed to the run game, right? Like, I had to go back and look because I'm like, okay, I ain't crazy. They averaged 35 rushing attempts in the first 4 weeks. Granted, some blowouts and all that, sure. Go back and look at some of those games. They was committing to the running game early. Okay, injuries to the line, cool. Different backfield, cool. But I do find it funny that on the heels of week one, the word of the day is committing to the run game. But the actions in the offseason didn't necessarily speak to that, at least not personnel-wise. And I'm not sure if they even addressed the scheme in regards to the how. Y'all know how much I've been talking about that. If it's just flat out, hey, man, we're going to be better because we're going to do it more, that's a choice, bro. That is a choice. I don't necessarily think more means better. If it was, hey, we're going to be better because we're going to do it better, i.e. the run scheme, blocking, the how, totally different story. And I'm not naive. I get committing is a part of the process to be better, but I don't even think it's near the top of being the main thing. So I saw this and I'm like, wait, coach, didn't you kind of say this last year? Didn't Coach Mike McCarthy come out here and say, hey, man, I want to run the ball? I mean, he did come out here and run the ball a whole lot the first 4 weeks. But at the end of the day, he ended up finishing, top 5 and throwing the ball in early downs, as you should, right? So, and if you go look at McCarthy's history, that ain't McCarthy, man. That ain't McCarthy. I think McCarthy tried to do it the way that this franchise historically has done it. And he said, no, this ain't me. He's coming out and he's saying it again. Could they come out and run it more and be committed early? That's very possible. They did that last year. I'm not so much pressed on the commitment right now. I'm more so pressed on, are you committed to the how? The number does not matter. And that has been my issue, Cowboys Nation, since Kellen Moore's been here, McCarthy's taken over. They've always come out and said, yeah, we got a number we got to hit. They always want to hit a number. That means nothing. You can hit that 30 carry number and average 2 yards per carry, and the opposing defense will say, thank you. Yes, do more, commit more, sir. You know, I'm all about efficiency. Efficiency, you can run the ball 22 times. If you're efficient, it will work, right? It'll get the team off balance. It will keep you balanced, but it'll keep them off balance. And then if you get that lead, now you can run the clock out, close the ball game. So I just found that very interesting that he, on the heels of the season, we're going to be better because we're going to be more committed. I don't know how they pressed him or they responded on it. I would love to know, what part are you committing to? Are you committing to the number? Are you committing to the entire run game, the how, the blocking, play calling, all of that? Because if you're committed to that, I'm all for it. If you're just committed to shotgun, here you go, Zeke and Rico up the A gaps, get 3 yards in a cloud of dust, well, we'll be sitting here at week 5 like, put on that cape and let's go. So just found that interesting. That's all. And it does tie into my bold prediction. With all of that said, let's get into my first bold prediction. Cowboys, Browns, week 1. They will find success on the ground. Hear me out, okay? So I didn't really talk about this a whole lot when detailing the Browns' defense. I briefed right past it because their pass defense to me is way more impressive. They were the best pass defense in the league. Their scheme is impressive. The rush is impressive, the coordinator, etc. But they were a below average team against running backs last year, like bottom third in regards to yards per carry on the ground. Okay, they allowed running backs to average 4.38, almost 4.4 yards per carry on the ground. That ranked 23rd in the NFL. They allowed 105 yards per game on the ground. Again, that's not terrible. It's solid. It's right outside the top 10. But, you know, Dallas doesn't need to rush for 150. Now, why is it bold? Because they still had a ton of games where it wasn't as easy, right? They were 3rd in EPA per rush. They were number 1 in stuff rate. So they found pockets where they made things difficult. So they weren't a bad run defense. They just weren't a top one either. So I still would consider this bold, especially given, think about it, the Cowboys, from right now, schematically, it doesn't seem like much has changed. Now, we're about to find out if it has or not. Personnel-wise, no one would say there's just a crazy personnel backfield. And the more I look over this game, the more I come away with, they have to do this, right? Like, they have to find success on the ground. Because I don't think you want to go into week 1 where defenses usually are ahead of the offenses. Week 1 against the top-ranked pass defense, a secondary and cornerback group who's really good, a coordinator who can mix it up a bit with you, and a pass rusher, Myles Garrett, against a rookie. And not just him, because the D-line in general was good. I don't think you want to drop back 35, 40, 45 times. I think you need to find success. So maybe this is me willing it. There's another one I might be willing it too. But on the flip side, there is a way to have success on the ground. I don't think it's just committing, though. I don't think it's just committing. I think it has more to do, and I'll sound like a broken record all year. I don't care. I think it has more to do with the how. If you're going to commit and just say, hey, we don't care if we get 2.5 yards per carry, as long as we get 30 rushes, well, now you're just making the game more difficult on the rest of your guys. But you know what? Success on the ground doesn't necessarily have to be 150. Pat won Super Bowl 150 and 3 tutties between Zeke and Dowdle. I think they'll have success in their own right? Like, think about this. Let's go back to Derrick Henry game, right? I would honestly, and this is where week to week, he's here. Can we be done with railing on our guys right now? We got to figure out how to use our guys to get a victory, right? I would honestly take Zeke if he happened to get 10, 11 carries, 5 or 6 of those were converted first downs on whether it be short yardage, whatever, first downs, finishes with a red zone touchdown. A couple of those carries is him closing out the game. Oh, well, Sky, he only had 46 yards. Yeah, but he closed out the game. He scored in the red zone. He converted tough yardage, first down. If he does that, that's a success on the ground to me. Rico, if Rico is, I don't know if they're going to use him. I would love to use him in the outside stretch zone. I feel like he would thrive in that. But if Rico is getting to that second level, making guys miss, putting that foot in the ground, popping off some 8, 9 yarders, a couple, maybe a 10 yarder, 10 plus yarder, finishes the day averaging over 4 yards per carry, not getting tackled at the LOS or behind it, not fumbling the rock, I take it. Well, Sky, you only had 40-something yards. Hey, if Zeke finishes with 40, Rico finishes with 45, Deuce gets in space for a couple carries that pop off. For next thing you know, you look up, 115. Average 4.2. I live with it as long as we are complementing the run game efficiently. If it's going to look like how it looked a lot of the times last year, well, that's a whole different story. So success, I guess, depends on how you view it, your perspective. My perspective, I'm not looking for $150. I'm actually just looking for them. I have a specific, I have roles in my mind for these guys. They probably differ from the Cowboys, although you heard Jerry, he came out and said, he basically said what the role is for Zeke. But I have roles in my mind for all of these dudes. If they literally just fulfill their roles in this game efficiently, that's a success. I don't need $150. I don't need 200 yards. Just make sure you're complimenting the true best part of your offense, and that's throwing the rock. You got to compliment it because this defense is best at stopping the pass. So being one-dimensional against it does not help you. It helps them. So bold to me may feel lukewarm, but I think the Cowboys find success. I do. Okay, bold prediction number 2. By the way, I forgot to put this up here. 351-999-3787. If you want to call in, give me your bold predictions. I will ask the chat later on, and we'll read some of y'all's. And when we get to my third one, I really want to know if that's too bold, if I'm tripping. Bold prediction number 2. Jake Ferguson will have to wait. The hell do you mean, Sky? This one, I hate to even do this, but we're going bold, right? We're going bold. Try to think outside the box a little bit. Freaky Ferg, I still think is going to have an all-pro. Y'all know how I feel. I think this dude's going to be a top 3 tight end when it's all said and done. But it might have to wait. And look, all I got is to go off his last year. That's all I got. The Browns were number 1 against tight ends last year in receptions allowed per game. They were number 1 in yards. They gave up the least amount of yards to tight ends. About 30-some yards a game. They do have some athletic guys, right, that can run with these dudes. They do have, if the Cowboys end up going big and they have to match up a corner, they got size type corners. But here's probably the biggest reason, not just because of what they like to do. Week 1, got a couple rookies out there. You got a very aggressive front, an aggressive coordinator. You might actually need Ferg and Schoolmaker. And if they go 13, Brevis man 4, but you might have to play big a little bit. You might have to do some 12 personnel, and he might have to block, then release, as opposed to getting downfield up the seams like we like to see, right? Or he might have to stay in line a whole lot as opposed, because last year, his rookie year, he was in line a lot. Last year, they spread him out some. He might have to stay in line to help out these tackles. So you're kind of keeping him in to keep the rush off of Dak, or at least chip in, rib shot, taking legs out, whatever they need to do. So if that's the case, and we are going week to week and how we're trying to defend or keep these defenders off your queue, this week might be one of those weeks where they say, okay, look, we know what Ferg can be. And we see this with Kittle a lot, right? Like if they wanted Kittle just to be a receiving tight end week in, week out, Kittle can go do it. But there's times where you walk away from the game and you're like, Kittle had 3 receptions, 40 yards or something like that. And you say, not a big game. But then you go back and looking like, oh, okay, he was a big part of the run game. He was a big part of pass blocking. He was a big part of being in line, chipping away and doing things in that manner. Now, I ain't saying Ferg is a Kittle type of blocker, but either way, an extra body to help these tackles could be used. I dropped a tweet yesterday after kind of doing more research about how are they going to attack us. I like to go look at the other team and see if we can find some nuggets. So Darius Smith said something that I basically confirmed what I thought coming into this game. We talked about Myles Garrett. We talked about Tyler Guyton, that matchup. A lot of people say, hey man, it's Terrence, right? I'm more worried about Terrence. I say, look, man, equally, it's Myles Garrett. So no matter where he's lined up, there's that I'm equally concerned, right? However, Myles Garrett lines up 85% of the time on the right side. The offense is left. And Zadarius Smith was talking yesterday, or whatever day it was, and he was like, they asked him, hey, how are you guys going to attack? You excited to attack? And he's like, yeah, man, Coach Schwartz has some things, planned, something special is what he said, planned for the right side to go at the young guy. And he said, who's on that side. Like Zadarius Smith said he wants to rush over there, but he's like, who's on that side. Myles Garrett. So you won't really see him on Terrence a whole lot. And the thing with Terrence, if you worry about the injury, that's fair enough. But, we've seen Terrence, good or bad, go up against all types of high-end pass rushers. We've seen that. So you have proof that he can do it. You have proof that, he's gotten beat too. But I've seen him the Cowboys be able to get through a game post his first year with Terrence going up against these top guys. He as in Guyton has never seen a Myles Garrett yet before. He just hasn't. Well, Sky's been going up against Micah. That's fair. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, that's fair, but these are two different rushers. Myles has like 30-some pounds on Micah. Myles' rush is different than Micah, etc. So that's why I say this is the matchup. Yeah, he might go over there on Terrence, but he's going to be on this right side. And according to Zadarius Smith, their coach is designing things to get that matchup, to put pressure on your rookie. Hence why I say survive 95. You just got to survive 95. But that kind of goes back to here, right? If 95 is going to be over there, if Zadarius Smith starts to give Terrence trouble, if the pass rush is getting home, you're going to need your tight ends. You're going to need your tight ends to help out the chip, to block, to give your quarterback a little bit more. Yeah, it's taking away an option downfield, but I'm not saying you got to stay in there and it's max protect the whole time, but block, release, maybe block, tight end screen, whatever. And maybe that's how Ferg gets loose. Maybe Ferg finishes with 3 receptions, 30 yards, but he gets a touchdown. But this is a bold prediction to me because I expect Ferguson each week, he should be featured as a receiving option. But this might be one of those weeks where, Ferg, we might need your help. We might need your help in the pass blocking game and the run blocking game and in the short area game because there's a rush over there. And we're a young group that's trying to find their footing, right? They're trying to find that cohesiveness. They haven't played a game yet. They haven't played in the preseason. It's just all practice. So this will be that first outing. So that is my bold prediction number 2. Before I get to the third one, let's hit this chat and see how we feeling here. Tex Rob has a prediction. Says Ferg catches a 23-yard pass, so a seam route. I feel like we should always target Ferg up the seam at least 3 times a game, or at least twice. That third time, they might be sitting on it. Still played well late. Yeah, we showed that toxic. Still was y'all know how I feel. I think Terrence is going to bounce back and be that solid right tackle that he is. He's got a tough matchup this week though. Got a tough matchup. Hallelujah said, "Did you see some?" He said, "Man, did you see some of Andy's plays last night?" Stop it. He said even Trigger Trey would look like the best QB. Now that's a bit much, but I think Andy Reid. I'm very fond of Andy Reid. Before anybody came to this channel to even watch me, and I was talking to like 3 people. One of my very first live streams was after the Super Bowl in 2019, and I was like, he finally stamped his Hall of Fame career. And I say this to you all the time. Andy's one of the greatest of all time. To be able to adapt year to year like he does. Yeah, he's got a top quarterback of all time too, but he's always had good offenses with non-top quarterbacks of all time. But yeah, Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown, when he comes back, that's going to be unfair. That's going to be unfair. Let's see. Mark says, I throw to Hunter and Rico. I'd kill for a couple screens in this game. Kill for it. Big A says, Ferg, 40 yards and a tutty. I'd take that, man. Like, I would take that all day and tomorrow. I think that's a good game for Ferguson. Against a team that's played well against tight ends and against a team where I think you're probably going to use him inside more to help block. If he goes off for 70 plus yards, close to 100, that would exceed my expectations for week 1. And the reason why, again, I have it as bold is because I expect Ferg to be 900, maybe 1,000 yards, 8, 9, 10 touch. I feel like he's going to be a top 3 tight end this year. Maybe just not week 1. That's all. Okay. This last one. Again, it's bold predictions. And I may be willing this one into existence here. And I've kind of been teasing this a little bit all week. I feel like the Cowboys have to attack this game a little differently. Right? Not even just this game. I'm hoping it's this year. I'm hoping we show some tweaks this year in the run game, in the pass game. They build on top of it. They don't just come out and we're doing what they did last year, right? They come out and it's this basic West Coast because we're trying to figure things out. Nah, bro. You know what you're good at, so build on that. Kevontae Turpin leads your team in total yards. He's never done that. He hasn't done that a single time in his 2 years with the Cowboys. And this probably is not going to happen. But hear me out. This is a really good defense. This is an aggressive defense. And sometimes you got to pop these type of defenses upside the head with a big play. You got to pop them. Because I don't think they're just going to let you walk down the field. And I feel like Turpin, and I said this to y'all in the offseason, when we get in these ridiculous slumps throughout the game or whatever, the easiest cheat code is Kevontae Turpin. He's a cheat code. And if you want to pop somebody up the head, I feel like Turp could be that, that hand after somebody get a fresh Baldini and just right upside the back of the dome. You ain't see it coming. If you like me, you grew up, your pops took you to the barbershop. For whatever reason, they just Baldini. You just give you just cut it all off. Go back home, go with your boys, go see your uncle, and you don't even hear it coming. Next thing you know, right upside the back of the head. That's Turpin. That's Kevontae Turpin, y'all. They will never see it coming. You're worried about, you're going to try to take away 88. You're going to try to take away 87. We'll see what happens if they decide to focus on the run game. I don't know. Brandon Cooks, right? Maybe you're worried about Dak taking it off from time to time. Next thing you know, you got Kevontae Turpin coming out the backfield. jet sweep, tunnel screen. Oh snap, play action, he's running a deep over. It's only going to take like 2 or 3 of these touches, right? Next thing you know, you're looking up. Kevontae Turpin, 3 touches, 92 yards. I'm just saying, you're on the road. You need to work in some easy things. What's easier than something like this? It's just sweep. Boom, 50 yards. Bow, right there. Gotcha. All right. 2 possessions later. Motion, in the slot, man, match. Kevontae Turpin, 35 yards. Bow, 80-something yards in 2 plays. I'm just saying. Give me Kevontae Turpin this week to lead the team in total yards. Now I could be slick. I could cheat here, but I'm not going to do it. I could cheat and say, well, yeah, he's going to lead in total yards because he's going to return something, right? This is bold. This is bold. This ain't mild predictions. I'm talking about on offense. Talking about on offense. Guru said, would Turp get more touches than Tolbert? Maybe. Maybe not. But in order to out-yard him, I don't think he needs to, right? Like, Tolbert's more of the possession guy. Tolbert may finish with 3-4 catches, 30-something yards because of possession. Turp can get that in 1 touch. 1 touch. Right when, you know, the Browns are feeling themselves. They just went to the barbershop. Got a fresh Boosie, right? And ain't the full Baldini, but Boosie got the, if you know the Boosie, you know the Boosie. And then Turpin just, bow! Ended around 65 yards, touchdown. AG is bold predictions, fam. It's bold predictions. Don't y'all hold me to this. Don't y'all come back. Don't y'all come back on Monday. Turpin finished with 1 touch for 6 yards. Skywalker ain't. He don't know what he talking about this month. Man, we doing bold predictions, man. I don't usually do these this many. Now we had the hot take stuff because, you know, sponsorships, but I say, you know what, let's mix it up. Let's mix it up this week. Let's mix it up. So here's my boldest prediction of them all. Kevontae Turpin leads the Cowboys in total yards. My other bold predictions, if you missed it, Jake Ferguson will have to wait. I don't think this is going to be a Freaky Ferg game. Trust me, I want to be hella wrong on this. I don't even. I want to come back here and you know how Colin does. I used to do this on my previous podcast. Where Colin was right. I used to do a where Will went wrong segment on one of my other podcasts a long time ago. I would love to come back here and say, here's where I went wrong, although we're doing bold predictions. And Ferg go off for 85 and 2 tutties or something. But we might need him to block a little bit more. And I think this one's bold. The Cowboys finding success on the ground because think about how much flack we've given the run game this offseason, right? And for me, until proven otherwise, it seems like they're going to run the same style of offense and or run offense. And if the scheme isn't changing, I think that makes things tougher. So if they do find success, that's battling an uphill, like that's going against the grain. So they're finding success going against the grain. I would love for them to come out here and the how looks different. Because if the how looks different and we're running a true committee and you're using these guys to their strength, then you can find enough success to complement your run game. Breaking news. I like that one. I got a couple of news. Where my other news will go? Here it is. Breaking news. Sky thinks Turpin is Tyreek Hill. You know what? When Xavier Worthy was doing the little razzle dazzle in and around stuff, somebody had tweeted to me, yo, we could do that with Turp. And I hit him with a, because look, he ain't Xavier Worthy, but I mean, my guy got speed. We've seen him do the end and around stuff. And we can do that with Turp. That's all I'm saying. All right, Cowboys Nation, this y'all time to shine. Let me know your bold predictions. Let me know your bold predictions. By the way, y'all, I am still working on cookout candidate segment. Y'all know me. I don't like to half-ass it. We're going to do we're going to make it fun. And if you're not familiar with what the cookout segment is on a Victory Monday, well, damn it, if the Cowboys do their job, you will see the debut of our cookout segment. So I like to come. I like when I hit y'all with this. When I hit y'all with this segment, the cookout candidates, I don't want to half-ass it. Is all I'm saying. Here we go. Bold prediction. James Arrington. Micah Parsons gets a pick 6. Oh, that could happen too. Old boy is one of those type of quarterbacks that'll throw it to you. At least in Cleveland, he's been that way. Trying to make a play, run around. Next thing you know, he thinks Micah is rushing. He drops back, gets a pick. Luis says, who's fat? Luis. You know that answer, bro. Luis says, who's faster, Turpin or Deuce? Turpin is much faster. Yeah, much faster, brother. Bold prediction from B47. He's AG. See, I knew you was. That's exactly why I stopped what I said and I finished a different way because y'all ridiculous. But B47 Vic says, my bold prediction. Where'd you go, brother? Kalen Carson gets a much needed INT. Okay. You know what I would love for that to be on? Amari Cooper. Either way he gets a pick, it's a pick. But man, if he can get a pick on Amari, that'd be great. Bold prediction from Marv. Cowboys get 7 sacks. That is bold. Matisse has Nealon getting 2 tackles for loss, and Lemitra as our safeties getting 2 INTs. I think the safeties this year are going to, I think they'll lead, and that's going to be tricky because when Bland comes back and Diggs, those boys get the rock. But if I had to make like a season bold prediction, I did this before with Malik and it didn't work out because they didn't use him in that manner. But if I had to do a season bold prediction, I feel like one of your safeties is going to lead the team in interceptions. Woo! Osa getting 3 sacks. That's bold. I like it. I like it. Let's see if we can get a bold prediction from 512. Good morning, 512. What it is, what it do?
What up, Sky?
How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up, Cowboy Nation? This is Dak Not Done Yet. I'm going to be real quick.
It's been a minute since I heard from Dak Not Done Yet.
I know. It's been 2 years, bro. You kind of put in my place about Pollard. I got proven wrong, so I had to sit back and just try to, analyze football a little bit. But I got real quick. I don't really think they're gonna score a lot of points, to be honest. I know I said here a lot of some predictions like 2017. I think they're gonna score like 9 points. I think we're gonna score 34.
Oh, I thought you meant Cowboys gonna score 9 points. Okay, so that's a bold prediction, 34-9. That would be look, I have to go back and look, but 34 points feel like that might be the most points they've scored on grass on the road in a good bit. I could be dead wrong. They could have did it last year, but I don't remember that.
Yeah, but that's kind of number I got in my head. I don't really think they're gonna get the chance to be like regular scores like that. I really think we're gonna kind of start off kind of slow, but kind of pick up like in second half like we usually do.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This game, week ones are tricky, but this game is so tricky for me because I don't believe in the Browns offense. Like I just against this defense, I feel like we have that advantage, and man, we might have a big advantage there. So I'm with y'all in a way, or you specifically in a way that I don't think they score a lot of points. Where I'm having trouble is the Browns defense is a good defense, but obviously we're a good offense too. And I'm not sure who's ahead right now. If I had to just go off of my gut, I feel like the defenses are ahead of offenses and the Browns may be ahead at the moment. But this could turn into a situation if they blow coverage, if they get too aggressive, if we actually game plan, we have a really good game plan. Yeah, this could get out of hand if the Cowboys do get a couple easy touchdowns, a couple big plays, because I just don't feel like the Browns offense is going to score a whole bunch of points either, bro. So, I mean, I still got this game being a tough battle, a closer game, but would not surprise me if they bust a few coverages, the Browns that is, Next thing you know, you look up, it's 14-3. Now their offense is pressing. They get a pick. Now it's 24. You know what I'm saying? And this thing get out of hand. It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, but then a quarterback, he ain't
Right.
I don't have nothing against him at all. Like at all. I liked him. I had nothing against him. But he ain't played like in a minute. Now, if that was that, I can just imagine what they'll be saying him coming out his first game back.
Yeah,
but now watch for all hell saver nonsense to them. Like he's supposed to just reamp his whole season back up. Like I just don't believe that. But but this Dak not done yet out.
Dak not done yet. Out. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of we got it the other day, 40 something or whatever, Cowboys 30 something. And I feel like week 1 it'll be a tighter game. Like that's my gut feeling. But if the Browns offense cannot score and the Browns defense doesn't show up week 1, this could get out of hand. The Cowboys still are a quality offense regardless. They're going to finish as one of the top offenses in the league. They're going up against the top defense, obviously a good coordinator, a lot of good talent. They match up well, but week 1 games are really, really strange. Let's get some more bolds. We got Sadiqa, CD 2 tutties, Cook 1, Diggs a pick. If that happens, Cowboys blowing these boys out. Blowing them out, I think. Soto, bold prediction. Zeke gets a long run and does the feed me. Damn, the mighty have fallen. Damn. Zeke getting a long run is a bold prediction now. Come on, y'all. He's gonna get a few of those. The mighty has fallen. 2 days ago, Aubrey. So James said bold prediction. Aubrey seals it in overtime, 2017. Let's see what Jack got to say this morning. What's up with you, Jack?
God. How you?
I'm good, man. Long time no speak. First time talking to you for the season, man. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I'm good, man. Before I give my bold prediction, bro. Oh, you all right? How your baby doing? How your kids doing?
Oh man,
how your wife?
The family's good, brother. The he's growing and healthy, and just love being a father. Love fatherhood, man. Appreciate that.
Amazing. Now, with all the pleasantries and all the what we do, now with all due damn disrespect, I was listening to your show the other day when landlord called in. Hey, landlord, we part of the same community, and I love my community, but sometimes we got to pull each other coattails. Hey, landlord, don't be calling up my man trolling, man.
Oh, no.
Trying to get my man out of here, man. Don't do that. Jack around, man.
Jack,
you know what I'm talking about?
Jack, landlord wasn't trolling, man. So look, y'all know me. I'm very animated. I speak in a certain way, very, very confident in what I speak in. And landlord is also fellow content creator that has his beliefs too. We just was on different sides of the thing. So our wires got crossed for the most part.
See, but I was listening to what he was saying, and everything he was saying to the end of the conversation, it was the pressure button a little bit. Because at the end of the conversation, y'all ended up agreeing on the same thing that y'all was saying. Y'all was saying the same thing, but just saying it a different way. You know what I'm saying? But he would say little stuff to get you like, bro, what you mean? I'm like, landlord, you don't go ahead, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I just had to call it. I had to put my little 2 cents in on that because you're my guy. But damn,
appreciate.
I believe we're going into this game with more confidence. Most important, we're going into this game with better preparation. I love Dan. Dan did an awesome job. He had some of his inefficiencies, but one of them was definitely preparation. I think the fact that Zim is here won't allow Mike McCarthy to slack off in that part. Because it's possible he may be next up if he does the same thing that he did last year.
Yeah,
Granted,
don't let that go over y'all. I hear what you're saying. Like, so again, I hate to go back, but DQ knew he was up out of here. He was taking a job. So maybe there was some part of him where, not that he sabotaged, that's the word, but he was just not focused there. Whereas Zim, like, look, if I go in this thing and I kill it, and the Cowboys still fail in the playoffs, right? And it ain't because of me, that might be my head coaching job next year. So I'm going to go 110% week in, week out. Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, but it was the last 2 years. We had a game plan. We have the athletes. We have the people in position. But the one thing that we lacked was preparation. The playoff game. We played the year 85% man coverage. But then we go into a playoff game and go 85% zone, which we don't do.
But hold up. Let me say this real quick, because I thought about that a lot in the offseason. I don't know if we went 85% now. That I don't think it went that upside down. But we did play more zone. But here's where the real issue was. It wasn't that they won against tendencies, because against those specific styles of offenses, you cannot go 85% man all game. You have to mix it up. That particular style of offense will tear man coverage up. We saw it in San Francisco. We saw it at times with Miami. And you have to mix it up. The problem is the how they mixed it up. The problem is we still were stubborn enough to be small in the middle, and they attacked it that way. The problem is you couldn't stop the run, so you can't stop the run. You have to dedicate guys, play actions working. They just weren't on their game. There wasn't a good enough game plan with the personnel you had. So mixing it up, going against tendencies, playing zone, you have to do that against that style of offense. The problem was the whole plan was garbage. It just was garbage, man.
Yeah, but that goes into the preparation factor.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
On both sides of the ball, by the way. Offense also had garbage prep. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is because of the type of coach Jim is, the precedent that he has already set in the league, and he already has been a head coach. He already has a good rapport with the Jones family. It's not going to allow Mike McCarthy to not have that offense prepared. It's not going to have us looking like we just started looking in the playbook week one. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to have that. We're not going to have to be able to say, oh, well, I'm going to let that loose. We're not going to have those excuses, because now we're prepared, we're dialed in. We already knew what kind of quarterback that was. Yeah. And that is.
Well, Jack,
for you to say,
are you talking about week one? Because if you're talking about week one, yeah, I feel like we'll be fine. Let me say this. I feel like during the regular season, they'll find their footing offensively. They did it last year. If we're looking big picture, my issue is not the regular season. My issue is when we do get to the playoffs, are we gonna revert back to the conservatism, what we're comfortable with, or are we gonna do what we know works, or are we going to have better plans? That's the long picture. That's the big picture outlook for me, because they found their footing in the regular season, but we got to the postseason, they stopped doing the things that worked well for them. So we have to wait to see that change in the postseason. For week one, I say come out.
I'm with you.
And do your thing. Don't baby step this. Don't. Hey, we got 4 games. We're gonna figure this out. There's increments into. Nah, man. No, this defense is a good defense. You can't play around like that. Go out there and swing.
Yeah. But again, that goes with the presence of Mike Zim. Mike Zim's not because he's gonna have this defense so prepared and ready to go week one. It's not going to be we crawling out of a bag on offense. You see what I'm saying? Because last year with Mike with head coach Mike, he started off crawling out the bag. You know what I'm saying? Because he's so much dependent on Dan's defense to get him back the ball. So he kind of slacked off. With Mike is going to hold him accountable because he can. And he's not going to be like, oh, just timid. Oh, I'm friendly. I'm just going to play my side of the ball, because he wants to win. He's going. Hey, Mike, what the fuck are we doing?
That sounds good. I gotta cut you. That sound good, but that ain't how that work. Mike Zimmer's not in offensive meetings. There's no time to be over there. There's none. Mike has nothing to. Mike McCarthy has nothing to do with what Mike Zimmer. I'm sorry, has nothing to do with what Mike McCarthy is going to do on game day, bro. Like, so I hear it sound real good coming with what you're saying, but in reality, I don't think those two things coexist. I'm sorry. I hate to disagree with you like that, but I just don't see how Mike Zimmer doing his thing has anything to do with how McCarthy is going to go out here and do his thing. I don't see it.
Okay, I'll give you, and I'll leave off with this. You know how you have a group of singers, right? Or you have, because I play in a go-go band. You know, I'm from DC, so okay. I play in a go-go band. Right? I'm on the front line. My drummer and my bass player, they may be executed. They may get it out the way, right? They may be thumping and got the crowd going. But my performance, even though we're on the same team, we have different jobs, but our jobs complement each other. So if I slack off, they still sound good, but as a team, we look bad. You know what I'm saying? But if I sound good and they slack off, same thing. So once they execute what they're executing, and I execute what I need to execute,
that sound good, but that's
can't with us. See what I'm saying? But right. Like I said, I leave off with that. My G, I appreciate you. I appreciate all the Cowboy Nation, all the Cowboy community. And you know what I say? If ain't nobody got you, Jack got you.
100%.
I'm on.
Appreciate you, Jack.
Already.
Nah, that ain't fun. It's fine. That's Jack, bro. Come on, man. Jack. Yeah, look, man. Shouts out to Shaq. This is interesting insight here now. Shaq, the Viking fan, diehard Viking fan. He said Mike Zimmer was barely there for the Vikings offense when he was head coach of the Vikings. Yeah. If it's about pressure, Mike Zimmer ain't applying the pressure on Mike McCarthy. Jerry is. So it sounds really good what you're saying. I hate to be that guy. I don't want to lead y'all astray to think that, man, Mike Zimmer being here is going to put the pressure and heat on Mike McCarthy to be a different caller, a better play caller. Bro, Mike McCarthy been doing this for 30-some years. Mike McCarthy going to do what he do regardless of who the defensive coordinator is. Don't even think he really wanted Mike Zimmer, but he here, they cool, right? If it's about pressure, that's Jerry putting it on him. All right, Jerry not giving him the extension. And that's just my opinion, man. 972, what it is, what it do?
What's up, Skywalker? Doing okay?
Yes, sir. I'm doing fine.
All right. Okay, man. Bless. Man. Okay. All right. My question is: do you think?
Turn you up here.
Okay, they try to sell we can't win on grass. Some of over 7. Does that matter this year? Do you think they break that? Do you think Cowboys
they
win?
Yeah, it's hard to ignore it, right? I think it was B. Burr who said the last 28 games the Cowboys are 6-22 on grass. Right? Look, man. At some point, it's hard to ignore that. But I mean, they won. They beat a bad team on grass last year. This is a good squad. It's a good team. It's a good defense. But it is what it is. Week 1, they're on the road. It's a day game. It's no weather to be worried about. Granted, this was a terrible team in 2016. They beat this team on the road before. Honestly, I don't really care about the grass record. Like, go out there and beat a better team. You got a good team. That's a good team. Now go beat a good team.
Yeah, man. I think that I did say 45-17. I did get out there early this week, but I just wanted to win. You know, I think our defense is going to be great. Our linebackers are going to play good. Dak Prescott going to have a great game. I mean, it's possible you can score the point just win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Don't get it twisted, man. Early in the season, especially week 1, just get out of there with the dub. You know, just get out there with the dub and get out of there healthy. It's when you're not playing your guys in preseason. It's not back in the day, so you aren't playing these starters in preseason. The reality of it, and I know Nate Newton says it in jest. He's kind of joking a little bit, but he's kind of serious. where he says, man, them first 3 weeks is preseason for the starters. There's something to that, right? There's something. That's why I always say who you are and what you do in week one is not an indication of who you are all year, in my opinion. Hell, even the first few weeks, I've been this way for years. Hey, give me a solid, give me at least, a quarter of the season to figure out what this team is. Each year, your team is different. If I made a judgment on the Cowboys after the first 3 weeks of the season last year, we would have been like Super Bowl. We'd have been over a running team. It was, hey man, things happen, things change. And what happened after week 5, week 6? They're a different team. So you kind of just gotta get out of these things early with the dub, get back into the lab and figure out how to keep improving throughout the year. In my opinion. So I wouldn't overreact to anything that happens in week one unless an injury happens. Then,
No injuries. I hate ESPN because they be trying to say, because CD Lamb didn't practice. I don't like ESPN because they be hating, man.
Oh,
but
you know how they go.
It was like, well, I hope. They was like, I hope he gets. Well, he might get hurt because he didn't practice. I just think the man's in shape. I understand you ain't been running and sweating, but he's a veteran. He already been playing more than 3 years. He ain't gonna get hurt. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that.
Let's not even talk. Let's not even put that in the air, bro. Let's not put that in the air. Let's not put that in the air. Yeah. Lamb gonna play. Lamb going. He gonna work his way back in. He good.
Yeah. You think Carson can shut down Cooper? Because they're gonna try to get Cooper out because he used to play with the Cowboys. And he ain't did nothing since he's been there, so they're gonna try to get him off. You know what I'm trying to say?
I mean, he's been pretty good. They're definitely going to try to match. I think they should. I hope they don't. But if I'm the Browns, I'm trying to get Cooper on Carson for sure. But I hope the Cowboys give the young man some help. And look, he's going to have his moments. He's going to have his moments. I feel like if the pass rush is getting home, if we have a good plan coverage wise on the back end, you might go a good stretch where, hey, where's Cooper? Is Amari Cooper? Because you got a quarterback who ain't like that, in my opinion. Offensive line that's compromised with the Lion on that side. Boy, oh boy. Look, I know y'all want to move Micah around everywhere. And don't get me wrong, I do too. But this week, they're going to have a backup left, bro. Look, man, let Micah just tear this dude up, okay? And if they want to dictate 2-3 people to him, okay, cool. Now kneeling on the other side, blitzer, cornerback blitz, D-Law, whoever, right? You need to take advantage of that. But, boy, if it's fine to scrub, Vach, that backup left tackle is the scrub, and let the Lion go off.
Let the lion roar, right?
Let him roar, exactly. Let him roar, facts.
Yeah, do you think Diggs will have a good game?
Last one, bro. Say again?
Yeah. You thank you. Do you think Trayvon Diggs will have a great game?
Yeah. I feel like Diggs will have a good season. Diggs hardly ever had a bad game when he was out there the last couple years. I mean, a couple Rams game, he got burnt, one time. But if Diggs is out there and Diggs is playing, man, Diggs usually performs. So I have all the confidence in the world. There'll be way more times Diggs has a good game than he has a bad one this year. Probably won't even have a handful of those. Seriously.
Have a blessed weekend. We're going to win. I don't know score, but we're going to win, man.
Man,
take care, okay?
You too, bro. I feel the same way. Shouts out to you, 972. I feel like the Cowboys going to get the dub. It's just going to be a hard-fought one. Lock this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5. He's calling from his Xbox. Y'all crazy. Vach. I talked about this the other day. He said Wills ain't like that either. He said he hot garbage. And that's why, do I still got it? Before I realized that he was out. Is it on this screen or is it on this screen? Before I realized, I think it's on this screen. He was out, Vach. This was a key matchup to me. I talked about how I watched him against Alex Highsmith. And let me get it off the screen because he's not playing. And I was like, ooh. Let me go watch another. Ooh. When Wills played, he gave up 4 or more pressures, I think it was, or 3 or more pressures in 7 out of the 8 games. And against teams that had quality rushers and defenses, Steelers, Pittsburgh, and one more missing, Baltimore. Gave up a couple sacks and 15 pressures. So it wasn't like you got, what was Thomas? You don't got Joe Thomas over there anyway. But now you get the backup. And they might put Jack Conklin on that side. That's the word. Jack Conklin might go on that side. But guess what? Jack Conklin got hurt last year. I think I read something. He hasn't played left tackle since like college. I don't care who they put over there. You got a Micah. Oh, Dan Orvalowski said the Browns are going to stomp the Cowboys. Okay. All right. Hallelujah said, got a question, Sky. Do you find a scrub early or late in the game? Only if you have to. You find it early and often, right? Because if it comes down to clutch time and you got to get a play, now you know that's the scrub. And you know how to attack that scrub. Set them up. All right, let's try to get through these swiftly. Let's start with Poindexter. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. You know what? I had to set my alarm clock so I could get you live, man. So I set my alarm clock just to hear you live, man. I'm really excited about this season. It's like us against the world, as it usually is, us against the world. You know, you got all these coaches and stuff on 1 year, the thing with Dak Prescott and everything else. But I have the utmost confidence in the team and the utmost confidence in our quarterback. This is, we got rookies out here. We got, it's a lot of unknowns, but it looks like we're going to pull it together, man. I'm really hoping we pull it together, and I'm really thinking that we're going to beat these Browns. Perchance, did you see the interview with Stephen A. and Jerry Jones? It's like, okay, we got a game coming up, and you interviewing Jerry Jones. What is this about? Did you get to see any of that?
This is how I felt about it.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
I Poindexter, I truly, as a kid say, gave two about it. I'm just being completely honest, bro. Now, I know he said some things and he hinted at possible 5-year deals and all that, but I promised something to y'all a few months ago, maybe it was a month or so ago, where I said, look, this whole contract stuff, I'm really, truly done just feeding y'all a bunch of breadcrumbs or things without substance to it. When it's come time for the news to break that somebody was signed, we will discuss it, because other than that, it's just fodder. And I know he said some other things, not just about Dak Prescott and the contract and all that, but to me, that was a whole bunch of nothing. And I feel like I want to give y'all more than that. Stephen A. know what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Go to Jerry Jones, get an interview, have Jerry say things he's been saying all off season anyway, and get the views, get the clicks, get Cowboys Nation riled up. That interview does nothing for me personally.
You know what?
It did nothing. It accomplished not a damn thing.
You know what's funny? It made me think about the movie Django. It was a Stephen interviewing Candy Cane. I was hoping Stephen was going to say, you mean you going to let this nigga ride? Well, I don't care. If you don't mind burning the bed and the bed springs and the sheets and everything else out there, man, this is hilarious.
So you said, who's that on that dead man? You gonna let this ride on this? He's sleeping in the big house. In the big house. Well, if we burn the sheets, yeah, man, that's crazy. You brought that up. You a wild boy, Poindexter. Who's that dead on this here now?
Man, but that's what it reminded me of, man. And I was crying, dog. I was crying listening to this shit, man. It's like, it's like, are you gonna sign Dak Prescott to this contract? And you got Jerry Jones talking about, well, when was a dog in the neighborhood, and we was wondering if the dog had a family, and then we found out that the dog had a family that loves him, and I know Dak Prescott loves his family. Man, just crazy shit.
Man, look, you got a Jerryism on your hand where he talk about, using lubrication when it comes to contract. Like, bro, what the hell, man? I don't listen to that man no more. What Dak say? Dak said, I don't listen to that man no more.
Hey man, look. You
know what Jerry gonna say though? Jerry gonna say, all you do is criticize. That's all he gonna say. I'm taking my contract and I'm going home. That's what he gonna say. Man.
I don't know, man. It sounds like a TikTok video I see with all my say, I'm just trying to chill, and all I hear is you saying,
Get up out of here, dog. You a fool, man.
Hey, man. Look, man, I love y'all show, man. I love what y'all doing, man. Go Cowboys, man. We got to go out and get this dub. I'm waiting for this football, man. I'm waiting to talk to you after the game, man. And all this year, man, I love what y'all doing, all you content.
Oh, okay. Poindexter drop. Hey, appreciate the call. There you go. In closing, Poindexter. How about him, bro? How about him? Appreciate you, man. Wow, I needed that one. That's a good one. Dang. Called Jerry the Candyland. Did somebody just come out and say something about Jerry? That was a good one, man. I'm definitely running this one back. I gotta listen to this one. Called him what do they call him down there? Not the big, not Candyland, the other one. The one where they rode on the horses and he got blown to smithereens. Big Daddy. That's what they probably Big Daddy. That's what they call him. As soon as you start talking about that money, oh well, come on inside and get you something cool to drink. Shout out to Voch. You a fool, Poindexter. That was funny though. 725. What's up with 725? Uh-oh. 725, you are live.
Sky, how you doing this morning?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Man, I'm hanging in there, man. This is Mike from Las Vegas, man. I used to call in a couple of times. I used to say MGM or something, but
okay.
I'm one always calling in, wanting Deuce to start.
All right, well let me change it here, man. We got Mike from Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Gotcha.
Yep. Just put Machiavelli.
There we go, Machiavelli from Las Vegas. What's up with you?
Man, I just you know what? I just get tired of hearing. It seems like they always want to put Deuce like in a category like, oh, get him like a couple plays, like, you know, always like make him like not a real running back, like just give him like some kind of like little job,
like a gadgety guy.
I still think he's an every down back. I really believe that. I just believe he can do it. I just believe he can do it. I don't know. I just believe he could be an every down back just because he's a little bit shorter. Doesn't mean that he don't have the stamina. Don't mean that he can't take the beating. Like I just believe with this offensive line over the next couple of years, and I just truly believe that him being his shortness is his superpower. It's so hard. You play football, Sky. I'm saying, like, I played defense my whole life, and when you got to hit somebody who's smaller like that and hard to find, you got to change your angle, how you hit them. It's hard to hit them dudes. And I love the way he was getting them small spaces and getting them extra yards, getting them power yards. I don't know. I really believe Deuce is super talented, and I can see him. I can see him leading the league in rushing.
Whoa, now that's a bold prediction, Mike. Okay, let me say this about let me say this about Deuce, because I agree with you in this sense. I don't think you should treat him like he's some gadgety back. I think he has like true running back ability. Like he has the know-how. He can find creases. He did it at Kansas State. Here's the thing, though.
Right.
I don't think he's when I say RB1, he's a lead back. I think he can do regular running back things within a committee. I don't think you treat him like a Kevontae Turpin. Yes, is he a satellite back? Sure. He's best in space, get him in space. But don't get it twisted. He could find the crease between the A-B gaps. I don't want to run him down the A-gap all damn game because that's not his game. But he 100% can do it and knows how. This isn't a pass catching back that you're asking to run. This isn't Jerick McKinnon. No offense to Jerick McKinnon,
Right.
but Jerick McKinnon was more of a pass catcher,
Yeah.
right? He can literally do running back things, and I think he can be a part of a committee and do those things. Maybe a little bit more than his idol, and I'm not saying he's better than his idol. I'm just talking about the running aspect of it. At least in the NFL, they used and excuse me, it's escaping my Sproles. They used Darren Sproles a lot more as a pass catching guy, and they ran him very sparingly. I feel like Deuce could do the running things, but not be as good as a pass catcher as Darren Sproles was. But there's something to what you're saying. I definitely don't see him being like a lead back. He's touching the ball 20 carries a game in the NFL. I do think his size would hamper him a little bit if you're using him that much. How many 5'5" running backs have you seen carry the load like that? Right? It doesn't happen for a reason.
I mean, but there really hasn't been any. There's no. I mean, I just don't think that. I don't see where his size hampers him. He's not like he's skinny. He's not like he's gonna get like worn down. He's a muscle dude. Like he's just as big as everybody else. He's just a little shorter.
I mean, he's 175 pounds. I think. I mean that's not as big, but it's compacted,
at 5'5",
right?
That's
it's compacted.
5'5".
It's like a little muscle
Yeah,
head,
5'5". That's pretty thick.
Yeah. It's compacted, but he's still at the end of the day he's a smaller guy, and I feel like if you try to run him like a lead back, you're going to hamper him. He's going to get worn. I do think he'll get worn down. Maybe not in the game.
Yeah, I just think he's shorter. He's shorter. I don't think he's smaller.
I mean that's fair, but I mean this is 2024, bro. Like you don't even want to run 6'2", 230-pound backs like that week in, week out. So why the hell would I do it with a 5'5", 170-pound guy week in, week out in the National Football League? That's why I say I don't agree as a lead back, workhorse, but I do agree a part of a committee.
Well, I think if somebody said, all right, he can't, maybe he's not.
Look, somebody brought up Doug Martin. Somebody brought up Doug Martin. Go look how long Doug Martin played though, and I don't even know if he was as small as him.
Well, all right, but I just think, I don't know, lightning in a bottle. I think 4 or 5 years, man, give him the ball. He's better than everybody else you have as far as running the ball. He's the best running back we have.
I'm not arguing with you that you get him involved at all. I think he needs to be involved for sure. I just think you don't use him as a lead. You don't lose any of these dudes nowadays as a lead back anymore because you need multiple backs. I think sometimes because we like this player, we're like, hey man, just let him go do the thing. No, how about we let him and other people as well get involved so that you have a multitude of dudes back there that can get going. But Deuce definitely should be in that conversation.
Sky, I just don't see where somebody being shorter would hamper them from being an every down back. I could understand if he was smaller, like you said, if he was a Turpin or something like that, but he's not small. He's just short. He can take the beating. He can take the beating. He did it at K-State. He took the beating every day. Like he beat Alabama.
But there's other aspects to the game too. Like if he's going to be this workhorse type of back, every down back, you need him to block a lot. I'm not putting him back there to block, bro. I'm just not ever. Not one single time. You go out and you catch the pass, and now I don't have a guy in the block. So your size does hamper you at some point, like when you're that small. But I don't think it'll affect him to be a runner.
That's where I will agree with you. That's where you're right. You're right. I don't know that he can block like that. Honestly, I don't even think he's a great. It's hard to get him even a pass catching back because his it's so small. His window to hit him is so small.
Well, now, Mike, now you're going against your own argument here. If he can't pass block and he can't catch the ball at the backfield because he's little, then he ain't an every down back. I mean, that just is what it is, brother.
Well, I'm just saying if those are the two things that you're gonna. I mean, I can agree with that as far as the blocking and maybe even the pass catching. If somebody wants to make that argument, but they make the argument like this dude like he can't take. Like he couldn't even carry the ball that many times. Like what he doesn't like. We play basketball. Does a shorter guy have less stamina than the tall guy? Like it don't make sense. Like You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, Scott?
The chat want to know this real quick. Well, just 1 second here, because you know me. Short Kings, let's go. How tall are you, sir?
I'm 5'10".
Okay, y'all. He ain't 5'5", 5'6". So he's not doing this because he is short king too. I'm a short king, so I'm rooting for Deuce. But yeah.
Yeah, I just think he could carry the ball more than I just don't. Well, you know, I hate them. I hate to see them pigeonhole him as some type of couple down back or something. You know, only a jet sweep or something. And you agree with me? I mean,
yeah,
he's definitely a good running back.
Yeah.
I just hope he gets the shot. Well, hey, Scott, thanks for the time.
Yep, appreciate you, man. Yeah, he definitely needs to be involved. There's no doubt about it, man. Like, and maybe it's just me being 10 toes down on. I don't think you should approach any season anymore in today's game as up. I got one back, one every down featured back, unless that back is extremely special, and if that back can't pass block and he can't. You're afraid to throw the ball to him because he's little, then damn it, he ain't every down back. That guy to me, that unicorn to me is Christian McCaffrey. And I had this conversation about Tony Pollard last year, right? When they tagged him, I said, look, the only way, in my opinion, and it makes sense to, bring him back in general, right? Like, dude tore his ankle. So go draft the back. But if you're going to bring him back, two things need to happen, okay? One, you better go get a compliment. You let go of Zeke, that's fine. Letting go of Zeke is not an issue. Replacing that style is, he didn't do that. All right, you didn't do it. You ain't helping TP. Number two, you're going to pay him all, this 10 milli taking up on your cap, then he needs to be an elite dual threat back. He needs to be a guy that you're going to hand the ball off to. He can pass block, which he got better at with that for sure. And you're going to feature him out the backfield as a weapon. They didn't do that. So it just made no sense to me. But that's how I felt about that situation. And that's how I feel about any back or anybody that wants to have one back being the main guy. Well, your main guy better be elite as a runner, elite as a pass catcher. And I mean, if he can block, okay, that's fine. I don't need him to be a great blocker, but he can't be 5'5" trying to block a defensive end or a linebacker blitzing, week in, week out. And I am a huge Deuce fan. I know me, get him a part of it, but there's two different conversations I think we was having. We're going to 662 Los, and then we're going to finish this thing off with Maserati. What's good, 662?
Hello. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. I've been listening to your podcast, and it's some great ideas coming up. But they all are interesting. But I was just thinking about the Cowboys for them to have success. It's all about leadership and buy-in to that leadership. And if you don't have good leadership, then you don't have nothing good to buy into. But if you have good leadership, everybody will buy into it as a team and work together as a team. The ones that does that have the most success. And you can look at the guys that won the Super Bowl. They have a team leader, which is their head coach, that everybody believes in. Not only them, but other teams believe in their head coach. Sure. So we got to, what I'm saying, if you don't believe in your head coach, then you got a problem. You got a big problem on the team, and it's not going to work out well. I don't care how many stars you got on there.
So do you believe you
got to have somebody to bring those stars together?
True. Do you believe they don't believe in Big Mike?
Well, I'm not sure, but the thing about it is, the thing that was wrong last year was, we had a lot of problems, holes in the offense and also the defense. And when you have weakness in the team, you may have some success during the year, but it'll always show up in the playoffs, and especially in a Super Bowl. If you got a weakness, it'll show up. Mm-hmm. And because, you're not playing just 4-7 team or 5-6, you know, a 6-8. You playing teams that are made to playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Even if they are 9-7, you know, they made the playoff. It's like I was talking earlier. They may have started off kind of bad, but now they done figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so we as a team have to figure it out as well.
Oh.
And each week we need to get a little better than we was last week. You
Facts.
know, and
Yeah, they definitely got to be trending in the right direction towards the playoffs, man. But hey, 662, appreciate the call, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right.
I forgot I saw this in the chat, man, after we talked to Poindexter. Captain Cheney, appreciate you for this, man. You want me to treat him like he white? No. I didn't say that. That part was funny as hell in that movie, man. Django was a classic. Man, every time I happen to see it on either Netflix or something, I'm like, you know what? Let me watch Django. Unbelievable. Look, Quentin Tarantino, man. Chef's kiss. It's not miss. It's not miss. Sometimes I get my wires crossed with that and Hateful Eight. Smitty McCall gang and stuff like that. Wasn't that Hateful Eight? Or was that? No. That was Django. But I get my wires crossed with them because some of the same actors in there or whatever. But man, Django's so good. No, that's not what I said. That's about to be a drop on here. Because a lot of y'all like to put words in my mouth. Let me write that down. Yeah, a lot of y'all like to put words in my mouth, man. Who was it? What Twan come in here and say? Rico the Savior? No. That's not what I said. Los. Good morning, Los.
Good morning, Scott, man. How you feeling? How are you now that football is starting,
I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to run on that field and then run right off, but I'm ready. But go ahead.
Yes, sir. And then when it comes Sunday, I know that countdown is going to begin. I know you're ready for it, Scott. You're going to do a great job. But my 2 points, and I'll leave you be. First off, I'm glad that football's back, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people saw the game. And one thing I've noticed is that with the Cowboys, I expect some rust first game. I don't expect to be all world moving the ball out there, right? But one thing I do need the Cowboys to look for is, how you said, attack the matchup that's working, right? Because one thing that the Cowboys do is get, what is it, kind of like bite themselves. They tend to not do what's going to work, and they just stick to running up the middle or, just stuff that, just bad play call. And I feel like if you have a matchup that's working to your favor, attack it. Sorry for my language, but fuck the original play calling. Work to win the game, right? So that's all. And my second point is this: if Dak is having some miscommunication with CD, Jalen Tover, with the wide receiver core, because CD wasn't in training camp. I expect a huge game from Jake Ferguson. He has to be the X factor, whether that be chipping, helping the rookie left tackle, or just finding ways to be open. But I do expect Jake Ferguson to be a huge X factor this game, because I'm not going to lie to you, Scott. If you're going to be up here and being like, hey, CD's going to be up there catching 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, I mean, good luck. But I would hope for that too. But I just need some, solid play calling for us just to, move the ball, because I'm gonna be honest with you, Scott. I do not like Mike McCarthy. I feel like ever since we hired him, he was just gonna be a coach that's a yes man, and he's not a true schemer. He's just someone that can, be all right for us. But I do expect him to be out of here by next year, and that's all I got to say.
Who, Big Mike?
Yeah, Big Mike.
That means this season didn't finish the way we wanted, man. But appreciate you, Los.
No problem.
You want I should treat them like white folks?
No. That's not what I said.
Not what I said. That's a drop. That's a drop. Appreciate your point, Dexter. That is a drop. You hear me? You want me to treat him like you? No. Big Daddy got pissed. No, sir. But he a free man. Y'all gotta leave. Y'all gotta leave Twan alone. I went back and looked at the chat. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes I don't see everything. Went back, watched the show. Why y'all call that man Twerk Team Twan? Oh. Facts. Hey, Toxic, I'm finna watch Django this weekend. I used to have this, I can't do it anymore because I work on game days, but I hate waiting around for the Cowboys to play. I don't even like watching the pregame shows. I want football. So what I usually do is I'll watch a movie or something before the game. I have to do it on Saturday now. And if the Cowboys lose, I ain't watching no sports shows. I watch a movie. Django is the next movie. One more game. And then we out of here.
You want I should treat them like white folks?
No,
That's not what I said.
Yo, the way he does, you gotta see it. No. Man, if you ain't seen Django, you're missing out. Maserati Marv, close us out, man. How you feeling ahead of week 1?
I'm feeling good, brother. I just, one game at a time. Just play some good D. Don't be trying to be a hero. No hero ball. And you got a chance to win. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know both teams going to field each other out. So whoever can get that running game going, that's who's going to win the game. Both of them got good defense.
Look, if we want to keep it simple, stupid, you see what I said, right? Like, I feel like this is the game to lean on, a ground game, but maybe they're thinking the same thing on that other side of the ball too. Yeah, they don't have run game Moses. Yeah, they don't have Nick Chubb, but maybe look at it as, look, man, our quarterback coming off an injury, he ain't what he once was. Excuse me. And we need to establish our ground game too on the road. I mean, at home.
Yep. So it doesn't matter who's the halfback, because, Cowboys back in the day, some unknown running back could come in and have a big day against us. So we want to stop that trend this week. But we got the big daddies in the middle now. So
we got the big daddies in the middle. They gonna be like, hey, big daddy, you said we can run? No. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. Not today. Hey, Linval Joseph and them boys ain't having it. No. I hope you're right.
I gotta give you credit. Back last year, you said to New England either number 92 or you said the Buffalo guy, and we got the Buffalo guy. And both of them. Oh, that's perfect.
We got one.
That is perfect. Yeah. So I think, because I'm aware of the DNs. The DNs gonna put. Oh, it's gonna be so much pressure. I'm gonna tell you, I better watch. D-Law gonna go off. I'm telling you right now. D-Law get to do his duty. That's it.
You get. Hey, Vach, if you still in here, okay, you won't like this. If they move Jack Conklin to left tackle, you also might not like this because DeJuan Jones isn't a starter. I don't know what happened here. Jack Conklin apparently, I don't know if he beat him out, whatever, but he unseated DeJuan Jones right tackle. Excuse me. But if they move him to left tackle, which they probably should do this, if they move him to left tackle, DeJuan Jones becomes right tackle. Dare I say they might upgrade it at right tackle? Dare I say?
They upgraded. Yes, they did. That's a big boy.
That's a goddamn mountain. You hear me?
That's a mountain. That is a mountain. But we got the right guy going against him. That number 94 is strong as hell too.
Yeah, but that boy.
That is perfect.
That boy 6'10", 450 pounds. That's the biggest. That is the biggest offensive lineman ever seen.
Yeah, that's the biggest boy. I'm telling you. When I heard they put him in the game, I was like, oh shit. Everybody ain't thinking. Y'all think it's sorry. No, that ain't sorry. That big boy can play.
No, he can play, man. He can play.
Don't get him
my worry about him is I thought he was one Eminem away from being out the league when he was coming in. And to Vach's credit, he was just evaluating the player. And he was right. The player is a good player. But it feels like every time I hear about I think I got a guy in Baltimore that's like that too. Big, like 6'9", 390 pounds. He came in, I think 390 something. And I'm like,
yeah,
man, it's tough for them big boys to keep that weight off like that. I feel like he won Eminem away. And to his credit, he's still kicking. So
still kicking. But it's gonna be a good game. I'm gonna love it. You know, I'm glad because that defensive coordinator for Cleveland, he know how to coach. He know how to play defense. Yeah. But I'm glad we got Zimmer. And have,
Marv, what'd you say? I missed what you said when your voice kind of cracked there.
Oh, I said that defensive coordinator for Cleveland, he's good.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. I respect him for sure.
I respect him. So it's gonna be a toss-up. I guess
in closing, Marv. In closing,
let's run the ball, play good defense, and how about them Cowboys?
How about them?
Shout out to my boy, your little brother. Who the oldest? Oh, he your big brother. Vouch. Shout out to Vouch. Your big brother.
He's my little big brother. Shout out to Vouch. Nothing but love for my brother Vouch, bro. Appreciate you, man.
That's right, man. All right, family. Salute.
We need to start a GoFundMe to get Marv some honey drops, some hot water. With somebody in there, some hot water and lemon. we gotta clear Marv's throat up. Now I couldn't understand that last part. But hey, Vouch. Marv, vouch for you, bro. Okay, look, Marv, the joke's over. You know his name, Vouch, right? Marv, you've been doing this for 3 years now, Marv. Hey, hallelujah, you peeped that too? In clouds. Y'all crazy. Love you, Marv. Hey, don't ever stop calling in. Super chats. Make sure y'all go support my brother Vouch, man. He'll probably have a show today with Brian Braddis. Let me do a refresh here on these supers. All right, I got a couple of them. Snuck up in here. Actually, yeah, there we go. About 3. Shouts out to Rohit. Hope I'm probably saying that wrong, man, but I've been saying that in my head for a long time. That's just how I thought it was said. Rohit said he dropped a dub. Appreciate you.
Super chat.
He got the Cowboys 33-17. Defense puts up their own score late. I like that. Here's why. Because that means the game is like 24-17, 25-17. And I can see the Cowboys definitely clearing 20. And then, boom, the defense puts them up. And that feels like a very comfortable dub. Like a comfortable way to win. Your offense did enough. The D-Hoes in the 17. They also get a score. I like that. Walk away 33-17. I feel great, right? I feel like that's not a fluky, if you know what I mean. Vouch for Vouch. Look, man, I had a segment in my head years ago when he hit me up, was like, yo, let's do this thing. I said, bro, I'm telling you, we should do a segment called Vouch Vouches. If y'all see it on his next show somewhere, just know where it came from. And clousing, I might take that. I might find that and take that. Where we at here? 9, 6, 10, 20 something. The Coleman Cowboy, appreciate you, bro.
Super chat.
Dropping a couple supers over the last few days. He dropped 5 and said, this will be a big year for Ferg in the second year chemistry with Cooks and having CD back. I think we'll have a decent game for the offense. Yeah, bro, I feel like Ferg is primed to put his name in the top of the tight end conversation. He was disrespected as hell in some of these rankings. That's why I don't really do reaction shows or rankings, but because they're goofy half the time. But he wasn't even in the top 10. And I'm like, how, Sway? Like, what are y'all watching? Ferg is about to be a household, tight end household name. Big Mex.
Super chat.
Dropped 2 and said, I'll never get tired of the chat roasting callers. I try to tell people, this chat I think it's one of the best I've seen across whatever damn YouTube, man. Maybe you got these actual YouTube, Kai Cenats of the world or whatever. But sports wise, man, y'all, if I just sat there and watched the chat, it'd be a whole different show. I'd be over here cracking the hell up, man. Oh, and Big Macs, they don't just roast the chat or roast the call. They roast me too. So that's why I say all the time, look, if you're gonna do this live thing, a lot of first time, callers that are former players or media people or just guests, they be looking at that chat. They get thrown off. I tell them, don't even look at the chat, man. Just focus. Just focus here. You ain't ready for that yet. You ain't ready for that multitasking. That's a whole different animal, man. Whole different animal. Toxic. Sky, you said his name is Vouch. No, that's not what I said. God, y'all funny. I love y'all to death, man. Hold up. Yeah, exactly, Jay. That's exactly how I'm going to feel. If Vouch, because Vouch will do it. Vouch will go out here. Next thing you know, there's a whole segment. Vouch vouches. You're going to hear me on there. Hold up now. I started this barbecue. And this is the thanks I get? Damn, Skippy. I better be the first guest on Vouch Vouchers. Tell you that. Man, what a fun show. If you join late, you definitely want to run this back without a shadow of a doubt. We did my version of the bold predictions. If you happen to not drop yours in the chat, all good. Here's what you do. When the show is over, go into the comment section. Let's run this engagement up. Drop your bold predictions in the comment section when the show's over. I mean, you do it in the chat too. That's fine. But run the engagement up. Drop your bold predictions, and we'll see, which one of these come true. And then on Monday, if it's a dub, y'all know what we doing. Y'all know what we doing. We'll get a debut of it. So I look forward to that. Unfortunately, I can't, and this is frustrating. Let me stop the music here. I'm not quite sure where we'll be Sunday for the game. I'll be here. I'll be on the channel. We'll be doing the pregame, halftime, postgame show, but I got to be somewhere here actually in an hour to figure that out. Either way, Sunday, me and Jesse will be doing the pre, half, and post. We may be live. I would have loved to kind of promote it this week, but things have to get straightened out. If not, still come back, and we'll be here giving y'all pre, halftime, and post-game analysis on the game. All right? With that said,
push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
bold prediction. Marv's going to get Voch's name right one day. Boy, Marv. National treasure. Yeah, man, I did see the trailer for the Mr. McMahon documentary. I will be watching it, and we will be talking about it on the new wrestling podcast. So once that drops and we watch, come holler at us on and new wrestling on YouTube. Love y'all. We out of here. Peace. How many glasses of wine I drink a day? I don't really drink wine like that. So 0. AG, bro, the pomade used to go crazy in high school.